Padawan from BSBA HRM 21N, your Community of Human Resource Students newly elected Internal Affairs Officer. Alright, ako'y muling nagbabalik sa isang makasaysayan at makabuluhang programa ngayong gabi. Alright, and what a wonderful night it is for all of us. Have you taken your dinner already? Hopefully you had. Okay, you know what? It is really important to recognize the effort and the work that the student leaders have imparted to our Sintang Paaralan. For they have shown the true essence of being an isko and iska sa loob ng Politeknikong Universidad ng Pilipinas, Quezon City Campus. Okay, now let us brace ourselves for the invocation to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Hallelujah, let's pray. Oh God, we exalt your name. We thank you for this moment of our lives. Truly that you are worthy of our praise, oh God. We acknowledge your sovereignty in this place. Please forgive us, O God, for our sins, that we may come to you with a clean heart. We pray, O God, for heavenly knowledge and wisdom for our speakers at this moment. We also pray for the success of our event through your guidance, O God, including everyone's health and safety. We pray that you may cover us with your precious blood, knowing that we can't do anything without you, O Lord. We also ask that this program will serve as an avenue to foster camaraderie and respect among students and other stakeholders. May the efforts of everyone be blessed with understanding, wisdom, and good insights, and ultimately, may your peace, love, and guidance be upon us. In Jesus' name, amen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Ama, banal ka po at makapangyarihan sa lahat. Ama, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng biyaya at pagpapala na binibigay niyo po sa aming buhay at lakas. At lalo tigit sa lahat, Ama, ay pinagpapasalamat po namin sa inyo. Ay taglay pa po namin ang aming karapatan. Tumawag at maglingkod sa iyong banal na pangalan. Ama, sa pagkapatuloy po na aming mga pananalangin, Ama, humihiling po kami na mga pasana patuloy niyo po kami ingatan. Ingatan niyo po kami sa aming mga pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay, sa aming mga paglalakbay. At lalo tigit, Ama, ingatan niyo po nawa kami at ilayo niyo po kami sa lumalaganap na pandemya. Ama, ngayon, kasagwa po kami ng mga aktibidad. Ama, man po sarang pagkalooban niyo po kami ng linaw ng kaisipan. Ito naman po ay sa kapurihan ng iyong banal na pangalan. Panginoong Hesus, magalandi po kami malapit sa inyo. Ikaw po ang aming tagapamagitan sa Ama. Kaya't sa'yo po kami humihiling na mahal po sana patuloy niyo po kong ipamagitan ang lahat ng aming panalangin. Nang sa ganun po, Panginoong Hesus, kamtan po namin ang aming makailingan, kalaki po ang kapatawaran sa aming mga nagawang pagkukulang at pagkakasala. Ang lahat po ng ito ay magalang po namin inihiling sa pangalan po ng aming Panginoong Hesus, dakila po namin pagpalitas. aktibidad. Ama, mahal po sarang pagkalooban niyo po kami.
Our very own Supreme Student Council President, Ma'am Jen Balauro. Let us all give her our warmest virtual applause.
Ayan, so thank you, Miko. Before I proceed, ako ba ay naririnig ng malinaw at maayos?
Yes, Ma'am Jen.
Yes po.
Ayan. So, yan, thank you for the reaffirmation. So, once again, thank you, Miko, for that introduction. Ayan. So, muli, isang masaya at mapayapang gabi sa ating lahat, especially sa nanonood sa ating Facebook Live, sa official Facebook page ng PUPQC Supreme Student Council. Now, tonight will be the last virtual moment that I will be speaking in behalf of the PUPQC Supreme Student Council and in behalf of the student body as well. This is the last virtual program that we organized together with the Council of Leaders under the leadership of Mr. Jerome Chester Guy for our fellow student leaders as well. So, we cannot let the moment pass without acknowledging your service because we know how much imperative it is to at least make you feel that your time and effort in serving your constituents are being valued or appreciated. We know that some of you, or maybe most of us, have some random thoughts, doubting ourselves if we can make it to the end. But here we are now, reaching the finish line of our term after 2 consecutive semesters for the academic year 2021-2022. So again, di madali, no, maging student leaders while being a student, being anak, di ba, sa bahay. It requires, it demands us much responsibilities, time sa iba't ibang mga bagay. But here you are, no? At nasa huling yugto na tayo ng ating termino, kung saan kikilalanin natin yung inyong mga naging parte para sa ikaunlad ng ating sintang paaralan, particularly for giving service to our fellow students. Again, I hope this first ever virtual recognition night makes sense to all of us. So let us all live with this year's theme, COL Tribes, continuing the legacy of servant leadership, excellence, and beyond. Because I believe na kaya nga tayo student leader, di ba? Hindi lang tayo dapat nag-excel as student, hindi rin tayo dapat nag-excel lang as student leader. So, kailangan we have to have that right sense of balance para maging successful tayo as student leaders. So, yun. So, again, because as student leaders, we should not only strive for leadership successes, but more so for student excellence. So, muli, I hope na-appreciate nyo itong simpleng programang ito para sa mga officers, classroom officers, sa ating mga student organization officers, particularly yung ACAD and non-academic student organizations, as well as the respective advisors, yung inyong student organization advisors. So all of this, nawa ay maging makabuluhan. Ayan, at nawa ay na-appreciate nyo rin yung pag-appreciate namin sa inyo. So muli, masaya at mapayapang gabi po sa ating lahat. And congratulations to all members of Council of Leaders, particularly the classroom officers and the student organization officers for the academic year 2021-2022. So yun lang po at God bless us all. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom Jen, for such an inspiring opening remarks. You know what? Every time I hear Mom Jen speaks, there's always conviction that signifies how passionate she is in everything that she do in SSC. And this program, reminding everyone, is made to recognize every student leaders in PUPQC. So you better watch out and end this program with a smile in your faces. Now, we are all set to pushing through the main event for us to keep inspired and heated up to serve the university more in the coming years. Let us hear an inspirational message from our very own Assistant Professor, Alma Fernandez. Let us all give her a resounding virtual applause.
Good evening to all officers, outgoing and the new set, and to the committees of this event, headed by Miss President Jeneline Balaoro of Supreme Student Council and Mr. Chairman Jerome Chester Guy of Council of Leaders. Thank you, leaders, for inviting me as an inspirational speaker in this event, the first ever virtual Council of Leaders Recognition Night with the theme COL Tribes, continuing the legacy of servant leadership, excellence, and beyond. As the title says, all of you, as an officer, have done everything for the welfare of our students. Your commitments, efforts, and services you rendered are very beneficial to them, as what I had noticed and observed for the past year. Of course, you can do all of this if you don't develop yourselves first. And as a true servant, leader must not stay in his or her position. You need to pass the new set of leaders not only the position but also the best practices, accomplishing things or activities in excellent way, through or as seen in your documentations. So those are, in documentation will now the basis or the standards that can be exceeded by the new or set of officers. So para makontinue talaga nila yung legacy na sinimulan nyo, yan ay kung i-adapt nila or dapat higitan pa yung mga nagawa ninyo. Big thanks to the outgoing officers. Thank you very much for a job well done. You are the arm of Sintang Paaralan. Your dedication to services to students will not come into waste because mayroong magko-continue ng inyong legacy. Recognition is not limited for giving certificates, but recognition may happen even when you are working already. Why? Because I am sure that what you have done as an officer will help you develop your good personality, meron kayong exceptional qualities that you can bring to your work. So you will become successful in your chosen career or field because directly or indirectly, your coworker or your superior will notice it. So to end, let me share the Bible verse from Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 to 24. And this is applicable to all officers, outgoing or new set. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. So there are many interpretations of this. I hope makuha nyo yung tamang interpretations. Thank you again and God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much for that inspirational message, Assistant Professor Alma Fernandez. And thank you also for leaving us a Bible verse that will surely help us in terms of leadership in the coming years. All right, let us proceed to the main event. Finally, we will come to recognize the classroom officers and reminding everyone that the certificates of all officers mentioned will be sent to the representatives' emails. Just like what I've mentioned earlier, to be recognized is one of the greatest feeling a person could feel. In line with that, let us witness the awarding of certificate to different programs in our university, starting with the Bachelor of Public Administration, major in Public Financial Management, or the BPA-PFM. Let me call Mr. Jerome Portugues, the outgoing JMS President.
Now I present to you the certificate for Business in Public Administration, major in Public Financial Management. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BPA PFM 11 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BPA PFM 11 for the academic year 2021-2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of the Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, and Associate Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of the Student Affairs and Services, and our Branch Director, PUPQC City, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr. The certificate is awarded to Rachel de la Cruz de Blas as the Class President, Marianil Gabriel Ocampo as the Class Vice President, Rochelle Dacles Tinampay as the Class Secretary, Rochelle Alipio Cafe, Assistant Secretary, Kayla Resierdo de los Reyes, Class Treasurer, Jan Ardim Fang Golondrina, Class Auditor, Racel Kyle Abad Arcala, Public Information Officer, Marie Rose Cielo and Marcelo Manalansan, Technical Team, and Angelica Par Sumang, Technical Team.
Thank you for that once again, Mr. Jerome Portugues. Now, let us proceed with the program Diploma in Office Management Technology with a specialization in Medical Office Management, or the DOMT-MOM. Let me give the stage to the outgoing DOMT-CS President, Ms. Vanessa Expectacion.
Alright, so wala po si Miss ko lang po si Gerard Ray as representative of DOMP. So, Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders, this certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to DOMT Mom 11 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the DOMT Mom MOM 11 for the academic year 2021-2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balauro, the Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chestergay, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Associate Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head, Student Affairs and Services, and our Director, Associate Professor Jamie P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. Let's start with the President. Reggie M. De La Paz, Vice President. Christine Joy Inocencio, Secretary. Maria Iliana Celirio, Treasurer. Trisha May Balang, Auditor. Marcos Yuri Labrador, Public Information Officer 1. Gian B. San Benaventura, Public Information Officer 2. Ronilo Dormitorio, Research Development Officer 1, Anne Isabel N. Oliver. Research and Development Officer 2, Lizette T. Evalarosa. Legal Committee Officer 1, Jeremy D. Jimenez. Legal Committee Officer 2, Lennon Isaiah Itoralde. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders, this certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to DOMT Mom 21 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the DOMT MOM 21 for the academic year 2021-2022. Given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balauro, President, Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chestergay, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Ms. Associate Professor Ms. Alma C. Fernandez, Head, Student Affairs and Services, Associate Professor Jamie P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. President, Misaya Nawabil Picaw, Vice President Jasmine Nera, Secretary Julian Kudla, Treasurer Gerard A. Ray, Jaime. Sorry. Auditor Janil Ann Estancus, Public Information Officer 1, Angelica T. Pitito, Public Information Officer 2, Jonna May Z. Abeto, Research and Development Officer 1, Margie R. Lapasanda, Research and Development Officer 2, Gracie Ann Joy A. De La Cruz, Legal Committee Officer 1, Jubea B. Hasareno, Legal Committee Officer 2, Naida Rose Pertoliano. For the DMT 3-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to DOMT MOM 31 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the DOMT MOM 31 for academic year 2021-2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balauro, President Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chestergay, Chairperson Council of Leaders, Associate Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. The President, Bernadette M. Ventura, Vice President Faye I. Fabro, Secretary Giselle Jane M. Restificar, Treasurer Maria Hensel B. Arlos, Auditor Lachelle B. Cores, Public Information Officer 1 Clarissa Marie O. Garas, Public Information Officer 2 Vincent Pomar, Research and Development Officer 1 Jem Jewel Arlos, Research and Development Officer 2 Jeremy Joy S. Ayag, Legal Committee Officer 1 Easter Gail B. Tangente, Legal Committee Officer 2 John Kenneth B. Fresnido.
Thank you for that awarding of certificate, Mr. Gerard Ray. Now, to award the certificate of recognition to Bachelor of Science and Information Technology or to the BSIT, let me call on stage Ms. Cyril Ann Soria, the incoming COMET's President.
For the BSIT 1-1, the Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, and Council of Leaders hereby awards the Certificate of Recognition proudly awarded to the BSIT 1-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 1-1 for the academic year 2021-2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of the Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of the Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. For the President, we have Kimberly May Maglakico, Vice President Renz Paul Tolosa Fababir, Secretary Kyle De Castro Mendoza, Treasurer Levi Pacoma Matudan, Auditor CJ Genova Silverio, and Public Affairs Officer Richard Aliaga Cabacongan. For BSIT 1-2, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders, hereby awards the Certificate of Recognition proudly awarded to the BSIT 1-2 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 1-2 for the academic year 2021-2022, given this day, 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. For the President, we have Mary Ann P. Manyoso, Secretary Daryl Ann D. Dizon, Auditor Rogelio S. Herbosa Jr., and Public Information Officer Hannah Faith C. Moscosa. For the BSIT 2-2, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. The certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSIT 2-2 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 2-2 for the academic year 2021-2022. Given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of the Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of the Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. For the first semester, we have Francis Constancio Candelaria as President. For the Vice President, Alexa Leonor Rose Hugueta Bacani. Secretary, Mary Rose Sebastian Rupi. For the second semester, we have President Mihela L. Gohol, Vice President Mika P. Marquez, Secretary Raymar Calisterio, and Public Affairs Officer Mary Rose S. Ruby. For the BSIT 3-1, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. The certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSIT 3-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 3-1 for the academic year 2021-2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaoro, President, Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head, Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. For President, we have Jason P. Tabuelo, Vice President, Jubiloid S. Tulagan, Secretary, Arlene Joy F. Paha, Treasurer, Alan Dale P. Bonachita. For BSIT 3-2, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. The certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSIT 3-2 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 3-2 for the academic year 2021-2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of the Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. We have President Emmanuel D. De Dios, Secretary Raymalin Jane S. Compendio, Treasurer Tricia May T. Briones, Auditor Ruby Dayan T. Carriaga, and Public Information Officer Nathaniel James T. Dominguez. For BSIT 4-2, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders, the Certificate of Recognition is proudly awarded to BSIT 42 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSIT 42 for the academic year 2021-2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Chanelyn M. Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. President, we have Ms. Angeline T. Balbarino, Vice President Hannah Joy G. Ulbata, Secretary Savina Luis F. Lacorte, Treasurer Dave Lawrence M. Obina, and Auditor Mary Ann Zay Fermin.
Thank you so much, incoming COMETS President, Ms. Zairil Soria. Now, let us take on to the awarding of recognition to Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship, or the BSENT. Let me call the outgoing YES Secretary, Ms. Rachel Majestad.
Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSENT 1-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSENT 1-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jenilyn M. Balaoro, the President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. The certificate is awarded to Alexandria Argat Banton, the President, Maro Atea Omelin, the External Vice President, John Ray F. Rejano, Internal Vice President, Hyvelin P. Banan, Secretary, Marivic C. Solomon, Treasurer, Russell D. Sinfuego, Auditor, Zaira May M. Esole, Assistant Auditor, Saints Aldrin B. De La Cruz, Logistic Officer, Erica D. Leono, Public Information Officer, and Stephen Asanyada, Public Relation Officer. The Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship 1-2 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSENT 1-2 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jenilyn M. Balaoro, the President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Mrs. Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. The certificate is awarded to Chloe Janica Estrella Mercado, the President, Frederick Paladin, External Vice President, Francis Boy Taborda Batang, Internal Vice President, Kim Nicole Romano de la Cruz, Secretary, Mary Ann Mirabuena, Treasurer, Danica Nina Gomez Dasho, the Auditor, Mia Rose Valeza Famor, the Assistant Auditor, Kath Micaela Pahara Eluzon, the Logistic Officer, Shenlin Jade Basilan Elvas, the Public Information Officer, and Priscilla Ches Patungan Villa, the Public Relation Officer. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship 3-2 officers, in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSCNT 302 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaora, the President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. The certificate is awarded to Reina Lynn C. Nerval, the President, Aisel Marie J. Cantuanan, External Vice President, Belly Joe P. Tabucol, Internal Vice President, Mary Joy M. Gabayno, the Secretary, Erland S. Barro, Treasurer, April Joy V. Arana, the Auditor, Erica C. Mausig, the Public Information Officer, Harriet Gabrielle L. Evangelo, the Research and Development Officer, Angelica G. Canopa, the Assistant Research and Development Officer, and Angela May Z. Almanza, the Public Relation Officer. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship 4-1 officers, in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSCNT 4-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Jeneline M. Balaora, the President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. The certificate is awarded to Kristen Fritz O. Miguel, the President, Roti M. Miranda, the External Vice President, Patrick E. Bunsoy, the Internal Vice President, Danica A. Medjavillo, the Secretary, Marian L. Juros, the Treasurer, LCB Valdez, the Auditor, Jake D. Alcomendas, the Public Information Officer, and Jennifer Ira R. Maravillas, the Public Relation Officer. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship 4-2 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSCNT 4-2 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch. Signed by Ms. Janeline M. Balaoro, the President of Supreme Student Council, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City. This certificate is given to Eliza Marie Luminan Concordia, the President, John Rick Pagayanan de los Reyes, Vice President, Lovely A.J. Laya Ramos, the Secretary, Jerica Gambol Natinga, the Treasurer, Kia Carcillar Consuelo, the Auditor, Benedict Maravilla Labastida, the Research and Development Officer, Giselle Rose Costillas Estroco, the Public Information Officer, Joanna Sangklap Intes, the Public Relation Officer, and Catherine Mendero Cruzin, the Business Manager. So again, congratulations to all of the officers of Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rachel Majestad. All right, now we are down to the Bachelor in Business, Technology, and Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics, or the BBT-led HE. Now, let me give the center floor to Ms. Jem Kumara, the outgoing FBTO Secretary.
Good evening. I present this certificate, Republic of the Philippines, Quezon City, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBCLEDHU 1-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership training rendered as classroom officers of the BBCLED 1-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, signed by Janeline M. Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director of Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City. Once again, this certificate is awarded to Austin R. Acorda, President of BCLEDH 1-1, April Joy Piñanes, Vice President, I am May Milad, Secretary, Olivia Noren Ortega, Treasurer, Princess May Balat, Auditor, and John Noah Fernando, Public Information Officer. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education major in Home Economics or BBCLED-HD 3-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBCLED-HD 2-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBCLED 2-1 for the academic year 2021-2022, given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Janeline M. Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Associate Professor Alma Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is presented to Christian P. Batang, President, John Michael Vincent Y. Solis, Vice President, John Michael Vincent Y. Solis, Secretary, Mary Rose P. Heterosa, Treasurer, James Cyrus A. Guy, Auditor, Jonah L. Pacau, Public Information Officer. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education major in Home Economics, BBCLED-HD 3-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBCLED-HD 3-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBCLED-HD 3-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Janeline Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is presented to John Hasper Morada, President, Musalaya Javier, Vice President, Francesco Maria Acosta, Secretary, Rosemary Madeja, Treasurer, Leila Marian Arellano, Auditor, and Mary Glenn Orteliana, Public Information Officer. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education major in Home Economics, BBCLED-HD 4-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBCLED-HD 4-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBCLED 4-1 for the academic year 2021-2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Janeline M. Balaoro, President, Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson Council of Leaders, Associate Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. Again, this certificate is presented to Rosan Nacionales, President, Vanessa Cabaco, Vice President, Rica Lorraine Orojo, Secretary, Christina Paulus, Treasurer, Antonia Guzman, Assistant Treasurer, Jermer Santalan, Business Manager, Bonnie Latagan, Auditor, Kathleen Tabiles, Sergeant of Arms, and Grace Ann Prado, Public Information Officer. Once again, congratulations, teachers, educators.
All right. Thank you so much, outgoing organization officers and the incoming one, for recognizing the classroom officers to the mentioned program. And again, congratulations to the first batch of awardees. To continue the event, let us listen to some dedication messages from the PUPQC student leaders. Let's go.
Lahat ng mga dumalo sa isinasagawang Virtual Recognition Night sa pangunguna ng ating Supreme Student Council, katuwang ang pamunuan ng Council of Leaders, isang maalab na pagbati sa lahat. Ako si Ralph Joseph Tuazon, ang Editor-in-Chief sa Panuruan Taong 2021-2022 ng Vox Nova, ang opisyal na pahayagang pang-mag-aaral ng PUP Quezon City. Narito tayo ngayon para sariwain ang masasabi kong isa sa mga life-changing na parte ng ating pagiging mag-aaral. Isang abala, nakakapagod, mapanghamon, at punong-puno ng salimuot na taon. Kung may makakapagsuma sa lahat ng napagdaanan natin, yun ay ang salitang hindi madali. Hindi parang paglalakad sa parke. May mga pagkakataon na may nakakasagutan tayong kasamahan, mga parte ng admin, mga deadline na hindi matapos-tapos, mga accreditation requirements na parang buong buhay mo nang ginagawa, mga pakiusap ng ating mga constituents na hindi na mabilang, mga pagpupumilit sa mga attendees sa pagdalo sa event, mga concept papers na kung saan-saan na napupunta, at mga statements ng pagtingin sa mga pambansang issues. Pero sa lahat ng yun, kinaya natin at malayo na tayo sa kung sino tayo bago natin yakapin ang hamon na to. Maaaring mas pagod, pero mas matapang, mas balisa, pero mas madiskarte, mas abala, pero mas kritikal, mas nanghihina sa ngayon, pero mas responsable. Bago ang lahat, hindi ito mensahe ng pagpapabango sa kung paano natin nalagpasan lahat ng pagsubok, kundi pagkilala na kung paano ang mga hamon na yon ay nagbigay daan para maging ikaw ang leader estudyante na nakikita mo ngayon sa salamin. Para sa mga hindi pa nakatutungtong sa corporate world, mas marami pang kaparehong pagsubok ang haharapin nyo. Pero dahil sa mga pilat na iniwan ng nagdaang taon sa atin, hindi na tayo magsisimula sa wala. Sa huli, parating paalala na ang karunungan sa pagsisilbi sa masa ay parating nararapat mapunta sa bayan. Maaring nagtapos na ang ating termino bilang leader estudyante, pero nagsisimula pa lang tayo sa mga lakbayin natin tungo sa mas matatayog na pangarap at mas malalalim na pag-unawa sa mundo. Bibigyan ulit kita ng hamon. Hindi lang para baguhin ang mundo, kundi para maging isang mas kritikal na bahagi nito. Muli, ako si Ralph, ang outgoing Editor-in-Chief ng Vox Nova, ang opisyal na pahayagang pang mag-aaral ng PUP Quezon City. Kapwa mo leader estudyante at binabati ka para sa mas matikas na pagtatapos sa inyong termino. Padayon.
They say leaders are born and not made, but I would say leaders made themselves one. With the courage that we have to take responsibility, with the commitment that we show to fulfill our duties, and with the moral compass that we embody to serve our fellow students without any hesitation. This made us a leader that knows how to listen, take initiative, and be the voice of the student body. Cheers to all of us.
Hello everyone, I am Romin Sosa from BSCNT 42 Kataga Officer. Happy first ever Virtual Council of Leaders Recognition Night. Thank you so much SSC and COL for conducting an event like this for student leaders. Because of this event, we are even more inspired to do our work as student leaders. I would like to thank our Kataga advisor, Mr. Jeronimo Quadra, for always guiding us to be a good leader. To our Kataga President, Ms. Joylyn Castor, for her diligence and ability to run the organization. And to all the officers of Kataga, thank you very much for the cooperation and hard work you poured into our organization. Thank you also to JMS, CHRS, SSC, and DSORG for being our partners in event. Again, happy first ever Virtual Council of Leaders Recognition Night. Thank you!
Pagbati sa lahat ng leader estudyante na nandito ngayon sa Council of Leaders Recognition Night na may temang Continuing the Legacy of Servant Leadership, Excellence and Beyond. Ako nga po pala si Jerome Portugues, the outgoing President of the Junior Marketing Society. Nais ko lamang pong sabihin na sa lahat ng leader estudyante ng PUP Quezon City Branch, congratulations po sa ating lahat na matagumpay na taon na natapos natin for this academic year 2021-2022. At sa mga incoming officers ng different academic and non-academic organizations na sana'y ipagpatuloy ninyo yung mga proyektong nasimulan ng kapwa nyo isko at iska at naway magpatuloy ang ating kagustuhan na maglingkod sa ating kapwa kamag-aral at sa mismong Sintang Paaralan PUP Quezon City Branch. Muli, pagbati sa ating lahat at maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Vox Nova, FBTO, Kataga, and JMS organization representatives for enlightening students from the reality in the education journey we are facing alongside with the leadership we share to our kapwa scholar ng bayan. Now we are back to recognizing the classroom officers of different programs in our Sintang Paaralan, continuing with the Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Information and Communication Technology, or the BBT-led ICT. Let me call on the FBTO Secretary, Ms. Jem Humarang.
Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Information and Communication Technology, BBTLED ICT 1-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBTLED ICT 1-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBTLED ICT 1-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, signed by Janeline Balaoro, President Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is awarded to Marco E. Fajardo, President, Nico S. Barro, Vice President, Mary Valerie N. Disco, Secretary, Marian V. De La Vega, Auditor, Einstein Jorban, Treasurer, Khalil James Puruganan, Public Information Officer. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Information and Communication Technology, BBTLED ICT 2-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBTLED ICT 2-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBTLED ICT 2-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch. Signed by Jeneline M. Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Almacy Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez, Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is awarded to Michael James Lantes, President, Arnold Lupatinga, Vice President, Clarice Joyce Criillo, Secretary, Maria Sheller Dizon, Business Manager, William Burkett, Treasurer, Rihanna Jean Morado, Auditor, and John Raniel Levo, Public Information Officer. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Information and Communication Technology, BBTLED ICT 3-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBTLED ICT 3-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BBTLED ICT 3-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch. Signed by Jeneline M. Balaoro, President, Supreme Student Council, Jerome Castorgay, Chairperson, Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, Head Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez, Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is awarded to Gerardo Tulis, Jr., President, Arnold Guerrero, Vice President, May Ann Tefala, Secretary, Joan Molin, Treasurer, and Rangel Alapitan, Auditor. Bachelor in Business Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Information and Communication Technology, BBTLED ICT 4-1. Republic of the Philippines Polytechnic University of the Philippines Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council, Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BBTLED ICT 4-1 officers in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the PBPLED ICT 4-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City branch. Signed by Janeline Balaoro, President of Supreme Student Council, Jerome Chester Guy, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Assistant Professor Almas C. Fernandez, Head of Student Affairs and Services, and Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr., Branch Director, PUP Quezon City. This certificate is awarded to Tricia May Espinola, President, Jose Valerio S. Velazquez, Vice President, John Cyril Dayaw, Secretary, Rachel C. Descalzote, Treasurer, and Lenny E. Lanuevo, Auditor. Once again, congratulations, future educators.
All right. Thank you once again, Miss Jem Humarang, for that. And now we are followed by the next program, which is the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management, to be led by the outgoing CHRS President, Ms. Melissa Ramilo.
Good evening, everyone. So from the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management, BSBA HRM 1-1, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City branch, Supreme Student Council and Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSBA HRM 1-1 in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSBA HRM 1-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City branch. Signed by the President of the Supreme Student Council, Ms. Janeline M. Balaoro, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, and the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr. Again, the certificate of recognition is awarded to these following officers: Rica Del A. Abanez, President; Aubrey Maes Tablate, Vice President; Gia B. Capindo, Secretary; Jaira Faith Mario, Treasurer; Edward N. Vargas, Auditor; Eliza Ruaya, the Public Information Officer. From the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management, BSBA HRM 1-11N, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City branch, the Supreme Student Council and Council of Leaders, this certificate of recognition, BSBA HRM 1-1N, in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSBA HRM 1-1N for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City branch. Signed by the President of Supreme Student Council, Ms. Janeline M. Balaoro, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Mr. Jerome Chester Guy, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez Jr. This certificate, once again, is given to these following officers: Aravela P. Escramosa, President; Miko J. Padawan, Vice President; Gia Nicole Lamayo, Secretary; Berdeo Batao, Treasurer; Nicole Nicerio, Auditor; and A. Lauren Apelacio, the Public Information Officer. From the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management, BSBA HRM 2-1, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council and Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSBA HRM 2-1 in grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSBA HRM 2-1 for the academic year 2021 to 2022, given this 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, signed by the President of the Supreme Student Council, Ms. Janeline M. Balaoro, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Mr. Jerome Chestergay, the Head of Student Affairs and Services, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, and the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez, Jr. Again, the certificate is awarded to these following officers: Josie B. Sombrona, President; Rowella Jean P. Sombelon, Vice President; Cassandra Marie D. Arevalo, Secretary; Angela P. Hubay, Treasurer; Paulo D. Pabalate, Auditor; and Almea S. Santos, the Public Information Officer. From the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management, BSBA HRM 2-1N, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, Supreme Student Council and Council of Leaders. This certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to BSBA HRM 2-1N. In grateful acknowledgement of their outstanding service and leadership rendered as classroom officers of the BSBA HRM 2-1N for the academic year 2021-2022, given the 6th day of October 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Quezon City Branch, signed by the President of the Supreme Student Council, Ms. Janeline M. Balaoro, Chairperson of Council of Leaders, Mr. Jerome Chestergay, and the Head of Student Affairs and Services, Assistant Professor Alma C. Fernandez, and the Branch Director of PUP Quezon City, Associate Professor Jaime P. Gutierrez, Jr. This certificate is awarded to this following set of officers: Ashton Jill Pineda, President; Ian J. Estrella, Vice President; Alexi Will-Ann Reyes, Secretary; Cyrene Dion Dungog, Treasurer; Vanessa Colarat, Auditor; and Princess Ina Cunones, the Public Information Officer. From the Bachelor of Science in Business